Good morning.
Okay.
This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Women's Coffee Club. We created this club for women to have a safe space to share and inspire each other in a collaborative environment, learning from a different host each week. And we're very, very fortunate to have Kim this morning. I'm so excited about the topic of, she's going to lead us into this gratitude exercise to determine where we are in this area and to discuss this very important topic. Every time I think about gratitude, I have this sense of peace and acceptance. And so this is a very important practice. So with that, Kim, again, very, very grateful, and all of you to be on this platform today. And if you could share with us a little bit about your background and why you choose this topic, we would really appreciate it. So go ahead and take it from here. Thank you. And
Thank you,
good morning,
Ronnie.
Kim
Thank you
Riley.
so much. Thank you for all you do to make this happen. We are very grateful for you. And it's ironic. I was actually going to talk about another topic, but I'm in an internship program at my church. It's been a 1-year program, and I'm in the last phase of it. And I opened it up the other day. It's on gratitude. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, we have to do this, because I think right now, with so much going on in our world, right? I think sometimes we lose sight of that. Like, we really do not hold on to the truth of what gratitude can really do for us. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So I thought, you know what? Why not put that out there? I know for me personally, I'll have to ask this question, like, how many of you have a gratitude journal that you journal in every day?
I have
So
none
yeah,
every
you know the
day.
effect that it has, right? So today, I have a little bit of my own. I'm going to show a short PowerPoint on gratitude, the power of gratitude. Some of it's going to be my own. Some of it's going to be, we're going to do a short clip with Brene Brown on joy and gratitude. It's like 2 minutes long. I love it. And she really dials in, what that looks like. And then I have an exercise for you, like a 30-day challenge that I'm going to offer up to each and every one of you. And, it's on the heels of, it's Bob Proctor's excellence in work. So many of you may have done this exercise before, but sometimes I think it was a couple of weeks ago in our mastermind group that we have this morning at 9. I had looked at that. It was from Paradigm Shift, although I think he uses it in different, like Lead the Field. I know he uses it there, I believe, too. So different courses with Bob Proctor that I have taken. And I thought, let's get back into the state of gratitude and really owning that. So I have a short PowerPoint presentation and then the challenge. And so pen and paper, if you have it, I think you're going to benefit from it, or you'll have something. Oh, let me see here.
I
Okay.
just made you host, Kim.
Perfect.
So
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and we will get started here. Okay. Entire screen. Let me see here. Show system audio. Share. Uh-oh, it's not going to. Hold on for 1 second. There we go. I think. Okay. Let me know if you can see this. Are you able to see this?
yes.
Okay. So I am trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out how I can incorporate all of you on my screen. If you can see that, though, we'll go ahead and get started. Okay.
We can see it.
You can see it. Okay, great. I just want to make sure. Okay, so power of gratitude. So a little bit about my background really quick. My coaching, I am a health and wellness coach, but I started coaching women on lifestyle because I found that women, like my niche, women over 40, they, as they're, continuously, as we all know, we're doing for our families, for our career, for our church, whatever that looks like, we embellish all of our energies into serving others, which is a great thing, by the way. But at the end of the day, when you start coming to those crossroads in your life, where maybe retirement is going to be your next step. Maybe it's divorce. Maybe it is a death of your spouse. I mean, all those things, right? Those life challenges, empty nesters. And so, women forget, like, we know whose we are spiritually, right? Wherever you're at. I personally, I follow Christ. But for wherever you're at, we know whose we are, right? I like to say we end up being women hiding out. We start playing small because we've given so much of ourselves over the years. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if we can eliminate self-sabotage and get to the root of our emotional beings. And so I do that. I call it in the Trinity of self-love, health, and empowerment or expression, so that we own our voice, excuse me, and we're able to, in our future, right? Like the 40 and beyond, we're empowered to go out and do great things so that we can honor who we are, right where we're at, authentically and organically, and serve others. So we create that attraction, that law of attraction, right? So that's really the basis for my business is Nourish, and that she stands for, yes. And the she stands for self-love, health, and empowerment. So that's a little bit about me, and I just absolutely love what I choose to do and get to be here with women just like you. So gratitude, in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, it is it's a noun, action word, right? And it is just the state of being grateful or thankfulness expressed. And I was looking in the gratitude version of Flourish, and that's the internship program that I'm with. And I love this meaning of gratitude. It is to see the impact out everyday lives when we choose to cultivate an intentional heart of Thanksgiving. I love the word intentional, and that is not dependent on circumstances, but rather the truth. And a lot of times we can, play the part as far as being grateful, but do we really own that truth of gratitude? And so I think that's very, very powerful for us to, that's the power of gratitude, is rather than the circumstances. And we all know there's so many circumstances right now, but owning that truth of what gratitude really is. And we'll talk a little bit more about the benefits of it, both psychological and physical. And so I love this quote. It's start each day with a positive thought and a grateful heart. And this is Roy T. Bennett. I have no idea any information on him, but I think it was brilliant in which he posted this or has this for us. And so in that, before we get started with the remaining slides, there's just a few left, and then we'll open for discussion. But I would like for us all, and I wish I could see you, darn it. I cannot see the rest of you for whatever reason on my screen. But what I'd like for us to do is to be able, and I don't know if, and you can answer with a voice response. How many of you know how to radiate love? Like, let's engage together and take a moment and start radiating love. Just deeply for about a minute, just start thinking about love and how you could send that vibrational love to our universe, so to speak, to maybe a family member, maybe it's your community, maybe it's the state you live in, right? But the more that we radiate that vibrational pairing of love together, then they say when two and more are gathered, that it creates incredible miracles. So I would just, let's
Kim,
take
can I
a moment.
interrupt you for a minute? Can you let Loveline in? She got disconnected and I cannot let her in since you're the host.
Oh, do you want me to stop sharing for a moment?
No, you can let her in. Did you see her name?
No, hold on for a minute. I'm going to have to go out of, let me see, let me end the call. See, for whatever reason, my screen, okay, here we go. Yes, let's admit her in. Sorry about that. For whatever reason, my screen isn't allowing me to see you. So I'm not sure what that is about. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to share again.
Thank
So
you.
let me know. You're so welcome. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, can everyone see this? Okay, so let's go back to the current slide. Okay, so what we can do is take a moment to go ahead and just start sending vibrational love out to people, to places, communities, states. Let's send love out to our world as a whole, since there's so much hurting going on in our world at this time. So let's just take a moment to do that. And that will really get the power of positivity and gratitude instilled in us. So the remaining of this time will really just be in that spirit. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's come back together and I will go ahead and continue the PowerPoint presentation. And I hope that all of you are just feeling like this whole sense of gratitude and love in your heart, and how we're able to just send that out into the universe and allow others to have that same feeling, that we're just grateful and giving that to others. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. So this is a quick video. I love it, from Brene Brown. She talks a little bit about, this was from about a year ago, and she talks a little bit about her lifestyle, like how it's changed her family dynamics. And so I thought that it would be worth a share. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this. It's just a little over 2 minutes. Okay, here we go.
I think the relationship between joy and gratitude was one of the most important things I found in the research. I wasn't expecting it, but what I found, 12 years of research, 11,000 pieces of data. I did not interview in all that time a person who would describe themselves as joyful or describe their lives as joyous, who did not actively practice gratitude. And for me, it was very counterintuitive, because I kind of went into the research thinking that the relationship between joy and gratitude was, if you're joyful, then you should be grateful. but it wasn't that way at all. It was really that practicing gratitude invites joy into our lives. And when I say practice, I think this is the part that really changed my life. It changed my family and the way we live every day. When I say practice gratitude, I don't mean kind of like the attitude of gratitude or feeling grateful. I mean practicing gratitude. These folks shared in common a tangible gratitude practice. They either kept gratitude journals. Some of them did interesting things like at 1, 2, 3, 4, like at 12:34 every day, they said something out loud that they were grateful for. They, one of the things that we do, like we say grace at dinner. And so now after grace, we go around and everyone in my family says something they're grateful for. I mean, and what's interesting is when we first started, I have a first grade son, Charlie, and an 8th grade daughter, Ellen. And at first I thought, and we've been doing it for a couple of years now, like they were like, oh God, Mom. And there was a little like, are you experimenting on us? A little bit of that. But now what's interesting, even after we did it for like a couple of weeks, those crazy nights where we're trying to like get to soccer and piano and homework, and Steve and I are just like, we say a quick prayer, we start eating, like, they're like, whoa, what are you grateful for? And it's been extraordinary because not only
before you
does it invite more joy into our house, it also is such a soulful window into what's going on in my kids' lives. There's a great quote.
I'm
that
going.
says it's not joy that makes us grateful, it's gratitude that makes us joyful. And it's by a Jesuit priest. And I guess I was just amazed to find that bubble up so strongly in the research. It's life-changing.
It's at 10. I'm lying. It's at 8.
Arlene, do you mind muting yourself? I cannot since I'm not the
Sorry,
host.
guys. Sorry.
Okay, but welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here. You're doing an awesome job, Kim Foster.
It's time to go ahead and go back to the sharing here. So what did you think of that? I think that's just, I love Brene Brown. I don't know how many of you have experienced, or I was taught by her in a Brave Leaders forum for about 4 months. And she's absolutely incredible. She's a research scientist, but she is fun if you get a chance, if you don't know her. She has a great TEDx talk that is just brilliant. And she talks about the power of shame and empathy. So I thought it was a great share. So let's go on to the benefits of gratitude. And I was looking this information up, and there's 2 different, actually we have the psychological, we have the physical, and then of course the spiritual, right? But I really wanted to touch base on the psychological and the physical, because I think when we put these 2 aspects together, then the spiritual benefits of gratitude automatically are there. And the psychological effects are like decreased negative emotions. And I think right now, one of the greatest things that we could share with others is to be able to lead by example as far as gratitude, and bring more positivity into the lives of others. And, you know, it's kind of like when Harry met Sally, I want more of what she has, right? If we're able to do so, then we are making the world a better place just by allowing our positive energy to enter, like sharing the love globally, like we just did, right? It also allows for increased empathy. And I believe last time I spoke on empathy, right? Self-love and empathy. And we know that in many cases, we're very empathetic with others, but we lack that same empathy within ourselves. So the benefit of gratitude, again, has to be within ourselves in order to help others. It allows for higher self-esteem, and who doesn't want more of that? More inner strength. And when we talk about that inner strength, it's like, what is going on within ourselves that we exude? Whatever we exude innerly is going to come out, externally. So, and then overall improved outlook on life. I think that's so important in this day and age, to be able to have that outlook where I try to smile at people when I'm shopping or wherever that may be, at a grocery store, at a gas station, create conversation with people, just because you can kind of feel vibrationally where they're at, and you may be able to just give them a bit of your own gratitude or love. Physically, what's very interesting is that, and these are all factual benefits of gratitude, we have better sleep and energy. One of the things that I like to do first thing in the morning when I wake up, and Abraham Hicks is really great about this, is taking that first minute, or she calls it 64 seconds, right, to get into that vortex. And when she's talking about that, is just owning the gratitude, the joy that you have when you first get up in the morning. So if you start your day with even just 17 seconds of gratitude before you put your feet on the floor, and then do that in the evening, you're going to sleep better. And overall, it is going to give you more energy to move throughout the day and to do what you love to do most. Heart health. It's a fact that they've actually stated, different universities, that heart health, that it can actually expand your life. Just having that attitude of gratitude, so to speak. More motivation to exercise, to get out there and move. I think when you're more grateful, you're out in nature, maybe you are feeling better about your inner strength, right? So you move more. It, again, another fact is that it actually lowers your blood pressure. I've seen that, excuse me, I don't have no idea why I am choked up. Maybe I'm just so grateful. But lowering blood pressure is very impactful. There's so many people walking around with blood pressure issues and concerns. So maybe if this is one of you, start using gratitude to lower the blood pressure. They say it can lower it up to 11 or 12 points. And that's huge just by being grateful. And then healthier relationships. So when you're coming from a place of joy and gratitude and love, your relationships are going to be much more fruitful. Okay, so to end this PowerPoint, and I'm going to show you actually the actual gratitude journal from the Paradigm Shift with Bob Proctor, if you'd like. But this is, in a nutshell, is this. So this is your 30-day gratitude challenge. And what you're going to do is every day, I do my morning, I call it my morning gratitude or morning ritual. To start the day, I take like a power hour, if that makes sense. And this is one of the things I've been doing, is writing down 10 things you're grateful for. Now, the importance behind this is that you don't want to overthink it. It's going to be those things that come to your mind or that are on your heart. And so write them down every day in your journal. If you don't have a journal, I highly recommend doing that, because whatever you write down, right, you can visualize, and it is more powerful. And then next, what you're going to do is you're going to be quiet for 5 minutes. You're going to ask for guidance for the day. And so in that guidance, what you're going to do is send love to 3 people who bother you, that maybe you're on the odds with, maybe you're annoyed at something that they have done. By sending love to those people, you are, and it's kind of like what we did earlier, it's just sending love out to the universe. Send love to 3 people that really come to mind for you. Who are those individuals, and how can you create a better relationship with them? And at the end of the day, sending love, like sending that mode of forgiveness to others, really sometimes it's really not so much about them, although I think it's beautiful to be able to do that, to get past whatever that is that bothers you. But it is actually for you, because when you're able to accept forgiveness for that, then it's going to free up that, that the chains that many times bind us. And I know that sometimes it's not that easy to do. But I highly suggest it. I'll have to tell a quick story when we're done here about that. And then finally, write this affirmation with your non-dominant hand. And I'll have to tell you, it's pretty entertaining. I have been doing this, and today's like day 8. Now, I have done it in the past, but you really have to stick with this long enough to where it becomes something that you're able to do. And it is the first day that I wrote with my non-dominant hand. When I went back to this on day 1, I'll tell you what it looked like a kindergartner was learning to write. And now just, into my 8th day, it's amazing what it looks like. So I know we're recording this, so we can go ahead and you'll be able to share this. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the share here in just a second. But I just want to thank you. I hope that it blessed you in some degree. Maybe, I know for this group here, we already share a lot of gratitude together, just being in the room. Let me go ahead and stop this share. Oh, let me see here. Let me end the show. There we are. Can everybody see? Are we back online? Good. I have no idea why I was not able to share my PowerPoint and see all of you at the same time. So anyway, I would love, how much time do we have here? We still have some time, but I wanted to, I do have that information from the paradigm shift. And hi, Ria, and Jan's on here. Oh my gosh, our crew's on here. Ria, we had just talked about this a couple of weeks ago, right, in our mastermind group. And it really inspired us to go back to this again. And, a lot of times we get this information and then we'll work on it for a little bit and then we kind of put it to the wayside, right? And so with this, you're able, I'll tell you in 8 days, it's made a huge difference. So here's my story on being able to send love out. I've had a couple of people in my life that, those individuals that they annoy you or you just don't click with them, right? But deep inside, they might be family, or I have a friend of a friend, and, she's always with us and we never really clicked. And, I'm like, okay, I have to forgive that. Like, I have to send her love, because honestly, I don't even know the reason why we don't. And so I started thinking about that. And so I gave her a call one day and it just shocked her. And she was very standoffish. And this was just last week. And I gave her a call and I just said, I said, I just had you on my heart. And I just wanted to really let you know what an important part you play in this world and how much you're loved. And it blew her mind, literally. She started crying. And she said, I never thought that you liked me. And I said, well, you know what? I said, I felt the same. And I said, I'm so sorry that I made you feel that way, right? I forgave myself, but I forgave her. And in that, now, next week, we're going to go to happy hour together, just her and me, not our friend in between. And I thought that is so powerful to create this new relationship. And we talked for a little bit and found out that she's going through a really tough time in life right now. And she's contemplating quitting her job, a lot of pressure on her, just on and on. She had several things, and we were able to just talk about it. And she found out that, in this world, there's a lot of similarity in each and every one of us. And I think if we just get to the root of being grateful for each individual, no matter what the dynamics look like. And that was just such a lesson for me in a week to be able to get past that And you know, at the end of the day, honestly, and maybe you've done this too, I had no idea why we never connected. And I think it's because we truly did not connect. We truly didn't get to know each other, right? And we truly didn't really get to introduce ourselves on a level to where we didn't feel that. Let me see here. Jane is in the waiting room too. Let me let her in too. Perfect. So I don't know. I'd love some discussion around this. And then how many of you first have been on that 30-day challenge? Okay, so I figured you have, Val. And could you
I didn't
share?
understand your question because something beeps in between. So I don't know what the question was.
Oh, okay. So the question is, how many of you have taken on the 30-day challenge? And I would love to hear like your feedback. So Val, I know you're a Bob Proctor fan. So I'd love to hear your experience.
Well, not only fan, but consultant also at PGI, for which I take my practice on this very calmly, and whoever I want to talk about that subject to, it's a person that I feel I want to talk to. So I'm very selective, basically. And so what I want to say about this gratitude challenge, to also raising the bar of writing it down with the left hand, is the most challenging thing to do. I would say it should be the sweetest, because when we, I guess, writing with the left hand, you suffer. You just, it's, and so it can hurt, it hurts your hands, it can hurt your brain, it's like, oh my God, I cannot write correctly, all those thoughts that come in as you're writing with the left hand. So it's very, very challenging. But like Bob says, when the challenge arises, pushing through, and what is pushing through is just keep writing. And then that's when it becomes a more habitual way of moving the hands in a certain way to be able to write it down, more clearly. And then once we see that we can, with the power of our mind, we can change the way the body, we can change the way the result we're going to get on that piece of paper. Not only writing those words of gratitude, but also having the control. Self-control is one of the fruit of the spirit as well. So I think writing it down, having this exercise of gratitude, emanating love from the heart, sending that loving vibration to us all, and that physical action that is totally non-habitual, kind of like bridge and strengthen, I would say, the power of gratitude. And when we do that, joy comes in inevitably. It may take time, more or less, depending on where the person is at, but difficult, very, very challenging situation are problems solved when the energy of love comes in.
Yeah, that's so good. And so in the exercising, Kim, I answer back to you too, as far as I will share that exercise with everyone in the format with Bob Proctor, if that makes sense. So the only thing that I would add to it, and I'm sure Val would agree with this too, well, all of you, is before you start the exercise, start, allowing joy, right? Just and love to just be centered. So if you center yourself in that, getting that out to the universe before you even start, I think like that gratitude, when you start listing those 10 things, and seriously, do not overthink it. It's the first things that come to mind. Like yesterday, it was like, I was doing laundry and it's like, oh, the warm towels before you take a shower, Like, how grateful are you for that, right? Like, who doesn't like a warm towel when they're getting out, even if it is 104 degrees where I live right now? But still, right? First thing in the morning, it's just like, it's a comfort. It's like and all those little comforts, like, green tea, like I drink 2 cups of green tea every day. Like, but that's time mentally for me to be peaceful with myself. It's just that Zen like feeling. It's like, oh, this day is starting amazing already, right? So the more that we can generate that, and I said this early, it's like when Harry met Sally, I want more of what she has. I have so many people that reach out to me on a day, I mean, literally almost on a daily basis and say, you have no idea how much you inspire me. And I think about, like, I'm not special, right? Right? We are all special, but I'm no different, right? It's just the energy, going back to the energy that we give to others. And who doesn't need more of that? Like, we are really in a world of hurting. And I see things very different. I see that, oh, this is an opportunity when we have this gift to share it with others. And that's what creates game changers, influencers, right? World influencers, even just one person at a time. Just smiling at the lady, in the grocery store that looks like she's been overburdened, right? Just saying, how are you? Just doing those things. And, not everyone is, I'm an extrovert. My husband goes, you like talk to everyone. And I said, yeah, well, you're not going to know their story if you do not, right? Like, how are you going to know their story? Even if it's just for a moment, for a brief moment, you may have made that person's day. Maybe you made that person's week or their month. Maybe they don't get out much. A lot of people are still stuck like in isolation, right? They're still in that isolation phase. And a lot of people nowadays, and I'm sure you know of some, that has become their protocol to life, right? That they hide, they stay centered, they hide. That's why there's so much suicide, so much illness, right, that's going on. So we can be the difference. So who else has taken this challenge? I know that several of you you say that you have a journal and you write down your gratitude. Do you do it on a consistent basis? Is that something that you do like every day, like clockwork? How many of you do that? I knew Val would say that. I know. Who else?
I did it during the 90-day challenge with Noble Goldman in the beginning, but then I stopped journaling. I did that as part of the 90-day challenge, but then, but I think the writing it down makes total sense, because I think a lot of us take life for granted. We assume things, but and we tend to focus on negative things, our worries, our trouble, all the issues. And I think that gratitude help you to put your mind at ease, to have this in this state of being calm and being okay. Gratitude to God, and just like where you are, despite your circumstances, like you said, just to be grateful regardless of what's going on around you. So that's so beautiful, Kim. Thank you so much. Suzanne, you're next.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I come from the practice of Mary Morrissey, and I was doing it, and I have gratitude. I don't write it down. I think the hardest thing was when I was receiving the 5 different things every day. She does do a gratitude journal of 5 things, but they have to be different every day. And I'm like, well, I mean, and it wasn't until you said the warm towel for the shower. I'm like, well, I didn't even think of that. I was thinking on a major scale. I wasn't thinking on a tiny scale. And then like 5 things different things every day. I think that's what stumped me, was that wherever I was at in my world, yeah, I could be thankful for the same 5 things every day. And then when those situations changed, 5 new things or something. So I guess that's where I ran into some issues. If I can just write this 10 gratitudes, absolutely. 10
So-
different gratitudes might be interesting.
So Suzanne, you know, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think a lot of times when we go back to that same thing that we're grateful for, I say go for it, go with it. If that's that same thing, there's something greater in that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if you are totally grateful for this person over here, just say it's your mom. Okay, you just send love to your mom, right? And I know your story, but send love to your mom. Just be grateful to your mom every day, right? She gave you life, right? So
Right.
become grateful, become more grateful. I believe that when you do that, it's going to send a different relationship with you and her, right? Think about that for a moment. So it can be the same thing if that's where you're at, and then change up. But I think you made a valid point there real quick that I wanted to talk about. When I think when we look at gratitude, and many of you can probably relate, we identify, we're too busy overthinking and identifying the big things. And then we really lose sight of the little things. And really, at the end of the day, the little things are the big things.
Mm-hmm.
So having water to cleanse your body, think about our world as a whole and how many do not have clean water, right? Right. Think about, I was looking at, okay, so this is another one. The pen that I'm writing with my left hand, Val's talking about, I'll tell you, I've had a cramp. I had a massage yesterday. True story. Had a massage yesterday, way overdue. But she kept saying, what is wrong with your left scapula back here? And I go, yeah, I know. It's just been really pulling at me. And then I realized, because I'm totally right-handed. And it's been me doing this with this pen, trying to go slower. The first day I wrote with my my non-dominant hand, it literally took me 8 minutes to write that affirmation. And I'm like, this is crazy. I'm not going to get anything done. Then I realized that it's really producing me to think, to slow down, to get creative, to learn. And that's actually the whole purpose of being able to connect your right brain with your left brain. When you do that, it's going to open up a whole new allowance of what you can do. Think about the confidence in it too. Does everyone know Christos? Okay, so this happened a couple of years ago, and maybe some of you can remember Omeka, maybe Ria, it maybe 3 or 4 years ago, honestly, I think with Christos. He talked about this. He started writing his affirmations with his non-dominant hand. And I don't know if you remember that, but we were in a group together in the leadership call. And, it was amazing. He was showing his improvement. And now of course, it's been a few years, but he kept consistent. And you cannot tell the difference. And he said it just opened up his mind to more creative thinking. And it's just really powerful. And so when this came about, and we started talking about it in our mastermind group, we're like, you know what? We got to do this. And so I've challenged myself to 30 days. And I think the older that we are, it takes a few more days than that to really build a habit. They say, 66 days, right? So anyway, let's go on to, let's go to Val, and then let's go back to, and then we'll go to Kim and go back to Suzanne. How's that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'll be short on that one. But what it makes me think too is when we are in a state of gratitude, we're in a state of prayer, because prayer is stating things that we already have in our hearts and our mind. It's already ours. Everything is ours. And this energetically speaking, vibrationally speaking, it can create worlds, like Abraham Hicks says. We are here to create worlds. And so that's why I like to spend some time in gratitude. And this morning in my meditation was about forgiveness. And but at the end of the prayer, the woman said, and rest in the love of God. And here we are today, you know, expressing love. So resting, also relaxing in that state of, you know, taking the time to just wash off all stress, because in the kingdom of God, there's no stress. There is no, you know, there is no hurt. There is no pain. So when we train our mind, it folds up in the body as well as a state of wellness. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. So well stated. Thank you. Kim.
So it's just, I have not done a gratitude journal in a while, although I'm starting to do with another group I'm in. We have a Telegram chat and we write gratitudes every day in it. So I'm doing that. But what I was going to add to it, what I was doing when I was handwriting, was being creative with it. So having like a drawing, like making it a piece of artwork. Like I was looking just now for one of mine and I can't. Anyway, I got the idea from Gay and Katie Hendricks, who are relationship coaches. And they said, you know, if you do things, so it's to your point of like writing with the non-dominant hand, if you write with or include some sort of artistic creative piece to it, it even makes it more, you know, come more to whatever fruition or just goes deeper. So I loved it. So I'm just going to restart that because I would write, and I love to doodle with, you know, I'm always doodling with my pen, but I'd write the gratitudes I was writing, like I'd write down 10 gratitude things I was grateful for, and I did it in a big circle, a big spiral. Sometimes I'd like draw a flower and then I'd write them on the petals, you know, or I'd color parts of, you know, shapes and I'd have them inside the shapes. Anyway, it's a really fun thing to do. And I think of that in the back of my mind when I heard that, like bring creativity into the practice in some way, that also deepens it. So not just non-dominant hand, which I'm also going to do. I love that. I love that. And I'm a left-handed person, so I got to write with my right hand is like impossible to me. But anyway, I just wanted to add that. It's really fun to draw with it.
That's a great idea.
Mhm.
Because when I'm trying to write the letter O, it's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, you can't even tell what that looks like. But now, and here's power for the course. What I would like to say is that give it a week, even a week. I've been posting to our mastermind group, our Facebook group, right? I don't know if some of you that are on here have checked that out, but you can tell a marked difference, like in 5 days. I was like, wow. And honestly, it's not taking me as long. So it gets better, but it's a challenge, and there's a challenge. There's a reason for it. It's beautiful. I think is it Omeka and then Jane? Suzanne, did you have anything else? I know you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say when Brene Brown said the 1, 2, 3, 4, I on my girls' 2 birthdays, 10/26 and 5/26, when I see them on the clock, I send love and gratitude to them. So I take their birthdays and I turn it over into time on the clock, and I send love and gratitude to them on their time, like 10:22 a.m. or p.m. or 5:26 p.m. I send gratitude to them. So it's an idea to think of someone's birthday and turn it into a time and devote that moment to them.
Kim, you're muted, but we only have 4 more minutes, so let's go to Omeka. Thank you, Suzanne.
Yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge you and thank you. Yeah, everything that I'm hearing and I'm experiencing is for the greater good of all beings. Let's just go there. But for us as people, you know, for sure, in the thinking, creating realms that we can flow in and out of. And yeah, it's all about the love and the gratitude and the forgiveness and the Gratitude, yes, it has made a world of difference because I just was over here complaining and in between, but it's the more gratitude, the better, shall I say. And I was sitting here picking up stuff like I'm grateful for this glass, for this pen, for this toilet paper, for this. Just look around you. You only have to move. That's 10 things right there, unless you're in a meditation room with a pillow and nothing else. But yeah, so just name 10 people that you know. You know what I mean? So yeah, thank you for the reminder. And the reminder, I did that one time and I was amazed, but I definitely took longer. And yes, thank you for all those suggestions. I think I'm going to, yes, do the challenge. Yes.
Well, I'm going to say real
As
quick
much as
that
I, without tripping about it, but yeah.
Omeka, and for those, I know Kim had asked, I'm going to send a copy of the exercise into our group there, just so that, Rennie, I'm going to make sure that, and then you'll have the recording here, which is also going to have the information in it as well. I think Jane is next, and then Kathleen, and then we'll roll out. We have just a couple minutes left. So Jane, go ahead and share your
this thank you. This reminded me of something. I had a light bulb moment, and I want to put a question out to everyone. Excuse me. If you were, imagine you're in an audience right now and you're at a concert, and if you were going to put your hands together to applaud, how would you do it? Go ahead, and if you were to applaud, is it the left hand going into the right? Is it the right hand going into the left? And are you aware of what feels natural to you? I ask this because probably about 5 years ago, I was in an audience and I was applauding. And I looked around and I saw that most people had their right hand going into the left palm because they were right-handed. And I had my left hand going into my right palm, but I'm right-handed. But I've been told over my lifetime that I'm very right-brained, which means that I'm probably a natural left-hander and didn't know it, So have any of you just realized that maybe you too were clapping as a lefty, but yeah, Suzanne? Okay. All right. Yeah. I was just curious because I just thought, wow. And I've been asking people that question for some years now because it awakened something in me. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm definitely clapping right into left, but sometimes I do, but it does feel a little awkward. I bet for you too, right? For those that are dominant in one. Okay, Kathleen, we'll go ahead and roll out. Kathleen, Miss Klein.
Hey, Kim. One of the things that I've learned recently, because I've been practicing gratitude for decades, but one of the things that I recently learned that is an important component to practicing gratitude, to manifestation, to radiating love is actually experiencing the feeling with all of your senses. Instead of just saying, and writing it down helps. And these other tools are great. I'm glad I learned them as well. I'm going to try them as well. But actually feeling it. So for example, the radiating love that you did, there's a meditation that goes to that, and it makes it profoundly stronger, is when you do the meditation to this and you think of someone that you love dearly. So it could be a child, it could be your spouse, your parent, your pet, whatever. And you feel that love in your heart. You really focus on that love. You concentrate on that one person and you feel that love you have for them. And then you gradually spread that out. So you spread it to all the members of your family, you spread it to all of your friends, then you spread your neighborhood, then you spread it to, hold on, I'm trying to get rid of this call. You spread it to your neighborhood, your community, your state, your county, the United States, and then the world. And the same with manifestation. You feel like you feel the feeling as if you already own it. You want to manifest good health. You feel the good health in your body. And with gratitude, when you're grateful for something, really take the time to feel that sense of gratitude. Otherwise, it's just kind of words. The feeling component is a very important component to all of these. That's my 2 cents. Oh, I'm left-handed and I clap my right hand into my left.
Yeah.
If anybody cares.
Kim, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And this was great. I don't know, did you get some great value? Did you get value from it? Because,
Yes.
wow, I love what Jane had to say. I know, I loved it. And I'll make sure that we will all post the actual exercise in there, but then you can also refer back to the recording as well. And so I hope that each and every one of you have a blessed day. I'll see some of you in an hour. And I am so grateful to be able to be part of this group. I really am. Just an amazing group of women we have here. Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much, Kim. This is such a wonderful session, wonderful topic, and we're going to have you back here again soon to follow up. It seems like this is a popular topic, and with the idea of gratitude, just so grateful for all of you being here. And if any of you would like to host a future session, please let me know. So with that, we need to close because we are at the top of the hour, and have a blessed week and a fabulous day today. So see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye-bye all.
Take care.